My name's Ed Land. I'm the owner-operator farmer of Chattooga Belle Farm here in Long Creek, South Carolina. A little bit about history about Chattooga Belle Farm. It was started in about 1958. Four gentlemen came together and started purchasing property here in Long Creek. And they acquired about 1,600 acres of farmland, planted about 1,500 acres of apple trees, and in its heyday it was the largest apple producing farm east of the Mississippi River. We grew about 18 different varieties of fruit, anywhere from raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, muscadines, scuppernongs, apples, peaches, grapes, and a whole lot of other things, as well as black Angus cattle. Our two main crops here on Chattooga Belle Farm are peaches and apples. We've got 1,750 apple trees. From the time we plant the apple tree, with like this year on the high density planting down there, it'll be at least 3 years before we can really harvest many apples. So every year we have to fertilize, we have to irrigate, we have to prune the apple trees on a regular basis. These trees right here that you see behind me this is coming up their 6th year in the ground, and they're a semi-dwarf tree. And this is where we get a lot of our apples that we send to the schools. When apples mature on the tree, we check and we'll pull that one apple, we'll cut it, get a little bit of juice out of it, and we do what's called a Brix test. We test the sugar content on that apple, and when it reaches about 10 to 10.5 Brix, then it's ready to pick because the sugar content's up. And like I said, all of them are just picked by hand. You're just going to pinch that one apple off, take it, and we'll place it into the pick sack, and then place it into the bin. This is our apple processing line. We'll bring the apples after we harvest them, and we put them on the conveyor belt. They'll come through, go through brushes inside the machine, and we'll be running water in there so we can actually clean the apples. Any residue or dirt that might be on there, we'll brush off. Then as it comes through the processing line, it comes over to the absorbers that dries the apple. Then we have two different sizes. We pull out the small apples at the first sorter, and they'll run down the trays. We'll place those in the boxes. And then the next size are actually the school size of 125s, we call them. And that comes down on this line right here. And that means there's 125 apples in one bushel box. That's how people determine the size of apples. So after we get through processing the apples over there, grading them, sizing them, and boxing them up, we'll bring them to the walk-in cooler over here and place them in the cooler where we have apples already. And we try to keep it at about 38 degrees. The colder you can keep an apple, the better it's going to be. Even down to 35 is okay, as long as it doesn't freeze, and then it prolongs the life of that apple.